Hello there. Welcome back to Let's Talk Superheroes. I'm your host Kalel, and today I'm going to give you guys my first impressions of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's get started. In this video, we're only going to be talking about episode 1, but I will have a separate video covering episode 2 later today, so be on the lookout for that because there's so much to unpack with these first 2 episodes. Also, spoiler warning, because we're going to be diving deep into everything that happened in this first episode, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it, come back, and then we can have a nice lively discussion in the comments. So yeah, let's get started. So I thought it was really nice getting that 5-minute recap of, everything that's happened with Obi-Wan and Anakin so far. Just kind of get our minds back into the groove of these OG Star Wars movies, which is fantastic. It made me really, really excited for this show because the trailers, I gotta be honest, they didn't really get me that excited. And then we jumped straight into Order 66, which I thought was fantastic. I really, really liked that whole Order 66 scene because it was one shot and it was really, really cool. But unfortunately the Jedi was killed, of course, because that's the whole point. But after that scene, I was like, this is Star Wars. This is the OG Star Wars, and we haven't seen it in a while. I love Mandalorian and Boba Fett, but those are kind of not, they're separate, but they're still part of it. But this is true Star Wars nature, and it really gets me excited and back into the mood of Star Wars, because now I want to go back and rewatch every single Star Wars movie. So it really did get me excited, and that's just the first 5 minutes of this episode, which it gets even crazier, and they introduce so many more characters in live action, which was fantastic. But then we find out that this takes place 10 years after Order 66, and we find out Obi-Wan has been kind of hiding out and staying low key because he doesn't want to draw any attention to himself, obviously, because then he'll be killed. So I do think this episode was a little slow, but it didn't really bother me because I really wanted to see where Obi-Wan is at and where he has been and what he's been doing. And I think they did a really good job at showing us that. So although it did feel kind of slow, I'm not overly upset because I feel like it was kind of necessary. Then we see the Grand Inquisitor for the very first time in live action, which is pretty cool. I know he looks kind of funky. He doesn't really look that good, honestly, but yeah, I mean, it was still really cool seeing him in live action. Then we find out that the third sister wants Kenobi. She just straight up wants him. She wants him dead. I really like how, she's kind of being played by the other Inquisitors. It's almost like she's the weakest of them all, but she wants the biggest fish, if that makes sense, which I really dig. I think she seems to have potential to be a good villain, especially since she's willing to kill people to get what she wants. So she's kind of ruthless, and I like that about her. So I think it's a really good, introduction to the show, and I think it definitely starts to pick up the story. And then obviously also, I didn't know much about this show. Obviously I've seen the trailers and stuff, but I didn't know that this show was going to be heavily based on Leia and Obi-Wan trying to rescue her and save her and whatever. But I think that it's great. I think they set up the show really, really good. Because like I said, I know how some people can find it slow, but it really did introduce us and tell us where he's at and also progress the story at the same time, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, we see baby Princess Leia, which is pretty cool. And yeah, she likes to wander off and stuff like that. But then she gets kidnapped, and that kind of shows the whole story of how Obi-Wan has to rescue Leia and bring her to safety. So another thing I thought that was really cool is seeing Obi-Wan kind of watch over Luke. He's been keeping his distance, but he has been watching him and making sure he's safe. So I thought that was really nice and kind of cool to see. Then we see Obi-Wan dig up his legendary lightsaber, and we know he means business because he's going after Leia. So now we know things are getting serious, and I cannot wait for the rematch of the century. That's what they're calling it, right? I think so. Anyways, those are my first impressions of part 1 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like I said earlier, be on the lookout for my part 2 first impressions, and we'll be diving deep into everything that happened in episode 2. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and comment all of your first impressions of Obi-Wan Kenobi down in the comments below, and we can have a nice lively discussion. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.